Hi, Marcie here with Team Realty and Keller Williams Mulinix. Me and Hansom decided to take a road trip this week and we wanted to share it with you. So the reason we wanted to share it with you is because yes, we're real estate agents, but we also love to travel. And taking this trip is something that we've wanted to do for a little while now. We were supposed to go in April, but then the pandemic happened, so we decided to go in June for my birthday. So I'm going to share all of the links for the things that we did in the description, which will be below. So make sure you check that out. And, this is going to be 5 days of stuff. The things that we did today, first off, we, took that trip from Oklahoma City or Norman all the way to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So our final destination is absolutely Santa Fe, and that's where we're going to be headed tomorrow. But we wanted to take the scenic drive into Santa Fe, so that's why we didn't do that all in one day, even though it's actually closer just to go to Santa Fe. So, things that we did today. First off, we drove through western Oklahoma. We got to drive through Elk City, which is the town that Hansom lived in whenever he was in high school. And we also got to see a lot of western Oklahoma, meaning we got to see a lot of wind turbines and wind farms, which is always really interesting. Those things are huge. Of course, you have to drive through West Texas whenever you go to Albuquerque from Oklahoma City. It's just straight on I-40. The place that we stopped in West Texas is Amarillo. And it's kind of the halfway point between Oklahoma City and Albuquerque, and that's why we stopped there. It's also a big city. We stopped at this restaurant called Butterlove Biscuits, which was pretty good. The most famous thing there is that Big Texan restaurant, which you're supposed to eat a 72-ounce steak in 1 hour, and you get to eat it free. Okay, that's 4.5 pounds of beef. And I really I don't love steak that much. So we absolutely went to Butterlove Biscuits, and I had grits, which I usually don't order outside of the true deep south, but these were really good. And then Hansom had a biscuit called the Hissy Fit, which had jalapeno pimento cheese and bacon and arugula on it, and it was excellent as well. Not bad at all. We also had some cranberry orange bread pudding at Butterlove Biscuit Company. They didn't have a ton of coffee there, so I actually got coffee somewhere else, but I didn't take any pictures because I didn't want to. So sorry about that. We drove into Albuquerque and went straight to our hotel. And our hotel is the Andaluz, which is a Hilton hotel, the Curio Collection. I do this because I want to, I spend points. So I have like airline points that I spend on the hotels. I use Chase credit cards to do this. And it's a really nice hotel, very like Southern Spanish style, very much like a Casbah, which we stayed at in Morocco. So we wanted to try this one out here. It's really nice, very clean, fun to sit in the lobby, because the Casbah kind of has this like feel of being open air at the top. And this one's very beautiful and has this cool fountain and lots of cool art too. And I just got to sit down and have a glass of wine and chill out for a little while after an 8-hour drive from Oklahoma City. For dinner, we went to a diner, and I didn't take much film here, but this is the diner. And I would really, really recommend it if you're in Albuquerque. It was delicious. It's been on Diners, Drive-In, and Dives with Guy Fieri, I think. I don't really watch that show, but the meatloaf is supposed to be excellent, and Hansom had it, and he said it was really good. I'm shooting day 2 and day 3 on the same day. Honestly, it was really exhausting to drive from Albuquerque to Santa Fe, and I'm not really completely sure why. I mean, it was literally an hour and a half, so I don't really know what's going on with that. We stopped in a little town called Madrid, which is on the Turquoise Trail, which we drove from Albuquerque to Santa Fe. And it was fun, it was nice. Some of the things were closed, which was unfortunate. The best thing we probably did was to get their special gelato, which has chilies in it. It was like a caramel chili gelato, and you could taste the chili, and it was absolutely delicious and kind of spicy, but also very sweet at the same time. So that was a fun trip. So day 3, today we got up decently early, and we decided to kind of take a walk around town, kind of walking on the backside of the plaza here in Santa Fe. But first, we actually went to this cute little restaurant called Dolina, and we had a pretty amazing breakfast, French toast and some baked eggs. And then I had a macchiato, of course, that's one of my favorite coffee drinks. And then after that, we just strolled around the plaza. We bought a couple of things, nothing crazy, just had a good time. It's very quiet here in Santa Fe on a Tuesday. And then for lunch, we had some Chinese dumplings that we found in the plaza as well that were supposed to be pretty good, and they were. So the link to all of that is in the description below. This is day 4, right, of our trip to New Mexico. And today we actually decided to go to Bandelier, which is a national monument, and we hiked. Ideally I would have gone to the Tent Rocks, but they are closed because of the quarantine. New Mexico kind of has some interesting laws around it, so I'm not really totally sure why Tent Rocks are closed right now, but they are. Bandelier was fun, really interesting petroglyphs. We did not climb to the one house that you have to climb like 140 feet on the ladder because we don't like heights, so we didn't do that. But we did get to see the cliffs and some of the caves, so it was really fun. A little bit warm today, not too bad. We also had breakfast at the Tune-Up. It was good. Just sometimes here you feel like you could eat a chili relleno every single day, and sometimes we do. And that's been literally every single day. For dinner, we decided to get paper dosa, which is a pretty popular Indian restaurant here. They're not doing dine-in right now, so we did get takeout. We got a dosa, which I've had several times before, just in southern India, because it's like the naan of southern India. And this one had chili and cheese in it and stuff, so we kind of ordered New Mexican style on that dosa. We also had their green curry, so the Kerala green curry, which is another state in India, and it was really good. It didn't have a lot of vegetables in it, had 4 green beans and 1 piece of cauliflower and then 4 pieces of chicken, which I felt like wasn't enough for curry, and so just a little bit pricey on that end, but it was really good, very spicy, so be careful if you do choose to eat there. All right, so our last day in Santa Fe, we did a few things. First of all, we wanted to relax, and it was my birthday, so it was important to me that I got to relax. But we did actually drive in the National Forest right by Santa Fe, and we drove up to a peak and just enjoyed the view. It went from like 80 degrees in Santa Fe all the way down to 65 when we got to the top of that mountain. We would have hiked. It was just really warm and pretty warm to us yesterday, and it was just being lazy, so we didn't. And then for dinner, we went to Sweetwater Kitchen, and it was really, really amazing farm-to-table place. The food was excellent. I had a salmon dish, and Hansom had some japchae, which is some Korean noodles with bison in it, and for dessert we had an amazing banana cream pie slice. So it was just a fantastic place to eat. Highly, highly recommend that, especially if you have kind of a special occasion where you want to celebrate. Like, the restaurant's really cool, really nice. It just feels great inside the restaurant, and then of course with the fresh food, it's amazing as well. So those were our days in Santa Fe. I know this is not a long video. Hopefully you guys get to travel to Santa Fe one day and see all of this amazing stuff. It's such a chill place. It's such a great place to just take a break. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you later.